Now, a person has died after falling into a passenger plane engine at an airport in Amsterdam.
Yeah, Dutch media reported the engine was running when the person was killed, meaning the plane was, well, probably about to take off.
Well, this comes after a series of recent incidents involving extreme turbulence. 10 people were injured on a flight from Doha to Dublin this week, and this came after a British man died on board a flight to Singapore.
Let's talk to former airline pilot Terry Tozer, who joins us now. Terry, good to see you this morning. I mean, first and foremost, this tragic situation with someone being sucked into an engine. I can't imagine how on earth this could have happened.
Well, any ground crew would normally be trained to keep well away from. I mean, there is a designated area. You'll notice when you've seen the aircraft being pushed back off a stand, the guy connected to the aircraft talking to the crew during the pushback, and he will be well away right at the front. Nobody would go anywhere near the areas near the engines because the volume of air that's being sucked through them is really significant, and it is a well-known hazard, and I am very surprised that anyone got into the wrong place.
Just an absolutely horrific story. Look, we also want to talk to you about turbulence, because we've had two horrible stories, haven't we, in the past 2 weeks. We had the death of a British man in that Singapore Airways flight from Heathrow to Singapore, had to be diverted to Bangkok. And then we had the incident this week where 10 people were injured due to severe turbulence at Dublin Airport.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that died actually died from a heart attack. I don't think it was as a result of direct injury during the turbulence, although that may well have been a factor. It's a very graphic illustration as to why you should always keep your seatbelt fastened.
What is going on with turbulence, though? Why are we hearing so many more stories, it seems, in the news about severe turbulence?
Well, I mean, that's what tends to happen, for one thing. I mean, obviously, when there's an event, then everybody starts looking for more like it. But there is a general feeling that turbulence in certain circumstances has been on the increase. Climate change, if you have a warmer atmosphere, more energy in, more energy out. And obviously, that also tends to generate more convective weather, like thunderstorms. I think in the Singapore case, they were in an area where there were quite significant thunderstorms around. Exactly how come they were unable to avoid that, we don't know yet.
Are we likely to see, is this likely to prompt a change in some of the rules, sort of less of a drink service, fewer meals, not being able to wander around the cabin as freely as perhaps we've done in the past?
Very hard to say. I mean, I would have thought more likely the airlines and the regulators will stress the need to keep your seatbelt fastened. I doubt whether there were 40 or 50 people walking about on the Singapore flight. I would imagine that many of those were seated, but they just didn't have their belts done up. It's basic safety precaution that you should always keep it fastened, even if the seatbelt signs are not on. And most airlines will make an announcement similar to that prior to takeoff, but I'm afraid people don't always listen.
OK, Terry Tozer, good to see you this morning. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
It is one of those things I've said before. I tend to leave mine on.
Well, I'm going to leave mine on now.
Because it's just not worth it.
No.
Because it's if you suddenly drop, well, if the plane drops, you're going up.
Well.
And, so just keep it on, even if it's loose. It'd be all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just something to be aware of, not to panic about, but to be aware of at the moment.